Muy buenas tardes. ANDE y la Comisión Especial del Movimiento Pedagógico les ofrecen hoy una experiencia significativa de una maestra palestina. La maestra palestina, docente en la Franja de Gaza, nos va a contar su experiencia y es una entrevista que desde ANDE le hicimos en donde ella demuestra que a pesar de toda la violencia, usurpación de su territorio y de todas las agresiones, ella también hace reír y hace pensar y hace construir nueva pedagogía a sus estudiantes palestinos. También aprovechamos en este momento que estamos viviendo para darle un saludo fraterno a todo el pueblo palestino en la resistencia que siempre ha sido un ejemplo para todas las organizaciones y los pueblos del mundo.
Buenas tardes, reciban un caluroso saludo y un agradecimiento enorme a la Asociación Nacional de Educadores por organizar este espacio para conocer a través de la trayectoria de una profesora palestina la situación y vivencia cotidiana, los retos y los desafíos de la educación en la Palestina ocupada. Y es que hablar de Palestina, de cualquier situación en Palestina, es hablar de ocupación. La vida cotidiana del pueblo palestino está absolutamente mediada por la ocupación que ha sido planificada y ejercida procurando generar el mayor sufrimiento al pueblo palestino. La ocupación militar israelí es en sí misma una violación sistemática a todos los derechos del pueblo palestino, entre esos el derecho a la educación. Docentes y estudiantes de Palestina deben luchar a diario por ejercer ese derecho en medio de un ambiente de desventajas, vulnerabilidades que derivan de esta misma ocupación. La pobreza, la marginalidad, la falta de libertad en todas sus expresiones, de libertad de movimiento, de libertad de palabra, libertad de expresión. La exposición cotidiana a la vivencia de un apartheid, y sobre todo el impacto psicosocial de la vivencia cotidiana en situaciones de violencia o de la ocupación en general, que impacta fuertemente la salud física y sobre todo mental de la población palestina en general y de su niñez en particular. Y es que la profesora Ms.Mustafa, quien nos hablará esta tarde y compartirá su experiencia, que ha sido reconocida con este premio del Global Teacher Award, fue reconocida justamente por su trabajo en favor del derecho a la educación de la niñez traumatizada por la violencia en la ciudad donde ella se desarrolla, que es Gaza. Como bien sabemos, la Franja de Gaza está sometida a un bloqueo brutal y a un encierro que la convierte en el espacio más densamente poblado del mundo, ¿no? En un espacio de 365 kilómetros cuadrados habitan 2 millones de personas en esta franja, atormentadas por la pobreza extrema, la falta de acceso a los recursos vitales, a agua, a electricidad, y también expuesta a la incertidumbre de los ataques sistemáticos que hace Israel a su territorio, y el compromiso de su infraestructura, ¿verdad? que estaba expuesta a esos repetidos y letales ataques por parte de Israel. Ms.Mustafa es profesora de la Escuela para Niñas Halima al-Sadiyya, al norte de Gaza, desde el año 2008. Ha sido oradora principal en más de 16 conferencias internacionales sobre e-learning, aspecto que la ha llevado en épocas de la pandemia a participar más fuertemente en este tipo de conferencias. Ha escrito 4 libros Uno de ellos, mis 45 estrategias de juego innovadoras en la enseñanza del inglés como segunda lengua. Bases de oro para la gestión de aulas virtuales. Y 2 libros que nos hablan, bueno, que nos ejemplifican claramente por qué fue merecedora de este premio. La Vuelta al Mundo en 90 días, donde Asma busca que sus estudiantes puedan superar ese bloqueo y traspasar esos muros y alcanzar el mundo. Y las 100 cartas de Gaza al mundo, otro de sus libros que tiene esta misma intención, exponer la situación que viven las y los niños palestinos en este territorio y el acceso a la educación. Es miembro del Departamento de Empoderamiento Digital en Educación del Ministerio de Educación palestino. Es formadora de aulas virtuales en este mismo ministerio. Se ha certificado con todo lo que ha estado a su alcance, nos lo cuenta, ¿verdad? Es educadora certificada de National Geographic, de educadora innovadora de Microsoft, ha sido certificada por Apple, por Google, es miembro del World Peace Zone Project y ha sido ganadora del Premio Estrellas de la Educación en Palestina, del Premio a la Creatividad en Gaza y del premio que nos convoca a escuchar esta conferencia esta tarde, el Global Teacher Award en el año 2020. Un premio que ha tenido como objetivo, o cuyo objetivo ha sido alcanzar todos los rincones del planeta para identificar aquellas experiencias educativas llevadas a cabo por maestros y maestras excepcionales que con su trabajo contribuyen e inspiran a sus estudiantes y a la comunidad y que van más allá del alcance de los objetivos académicos para sembrar el amor a la educación y por innovar y acercar al aprendizaje y lograr que esas poblaciones vulnerables puedan dar un salto hacia la superación de estas situaciones. Y esto es lo que nos va a narrar esta tarde Asma, su experiencia como docente en una situación de vulnerabilidad extrema. Quiero compartirle lo que ella compartía hace unos días en sus redes sociales, el orgullo de llegar hasta Costa Rica a exponer su experiencia y el agradecimiento por esta oportunidad de alcanzar otro país y de llevar la voz y la situación de Palestina. Con estas palabras les reitero el agradecimiento de Asma, de el Estado de Palestina, de su pueblo y sus refugiados, y el mío propio, por llevar la voz de Palestina y por conocer su causa y sus desafíos y por no abandonar nunca esta causa tan noble. Muchas gracias.
Hello, this is Ms.Mustafa, the English language teacher from Palestine. I'd like to thank the National Association of Educators for this great invitation to speak about my experience in teaching English in Palestine. Actually, to start with, I'd like to tell you what does it mean to be a teacher in Palestine. Simply, it means to work under the Israeli aggressions from one time to another. It means to work in emergency cases. It means to have schools closures suddenly and coming back is unknown till the aggressions and our attacks stop. Working as a teacher in Palestine means to specialize in moral support for the learners, not only as a teacher, but also you need to be a mother, a sister, a father, a brother for your students, and a friend, their friends too, at the same time, beside being a teacher. Being a teacher in Palestine means to stand in front of more than 200 students every day. All of them are living in a very, very big prison under this siege, which is forced on Gaza since 2005 till now. This means your students have never traveled just like others outside the world and never seen how the world outside is, except on the television screens or the pictures and videos on the internet. It means to work in a school which is at the risk of partial or total destruction because of the Israeli aggression. It means to teach students who have been lived through three violent attacks on Gaza during the 4 years. 64% of the youth is unemployment. Unfortunately, this means to work in an environment with high range of poverty and unemployment. It means the fathers of your students do not work. And your students have, very, very difficult economic situation. It means to have the electricity only 8 hours on every day in its best cases. And sometimes the electricity reaches to 4 hours on a day and 20 continuing hours cut off all the day long. Being a teacher in Palestine means you need to work in the light of lack of resources, especially technology and smart devices, laptops, according to the low and difficult economic situation. Especially when we are talking about COVID-19 pandemic time, this means that education is not, comparing with other countries, is not as good as theirs. My story in teaching began 13 years ago when a 14-year student expressed her feeling towards some gaming activities I was doing inside my classroom at that time, after an Israeli aggression in 2005, which continued for 21 days. When we came back to schools, my students raised her hand and told me, "Miss, I'd like to say something." She was happy and smiling. I told her, "Yes, go on. Say, what would you like to say?" She said, "Miss, I'm so happy to play inside the classroom. Please play with us every day, as I have never bought a toy. My dad does not work, and we are 11 brothers and sisters." She continued telling me her story till she reaches, "I have never visited the city of Gaza, the middle of Gaza Strip, which is only 10 minutes in the taxi from her house." Her story shocked me and inspired me at the same time. Later, I knew that her story is the same for tens of thousands of our students in Gaza Strip. So I decided to work hard in researching and developing some educational games which is suitable for her age, and teaching English as a foreign language, so that I could not stop teaching, and I mix between playing games and teaching English at the same time. Year after year, I developed my techniques and strategies in teaching English till I reached 45 gaming strategies. Some of them are innovated by me. Some others I have learned by supervisors, university, some books, researching on the internet. I also started teaching English by short stories, lovely songs, short drama, micro teaching, and recently I added technology in teaching English, which is the flavor of, it added a taste for teaching English. I managed to change the English classes into the best ones for my students, and their parents kept always telling me that the sons and daughters are very, very happy in English, and they started loving English as a language, and they started to speak English as a language, not only as a school subject. They are now honestly waiting eagerly for my English classes. I also have launched my global educational project in December 2019 under the title of I Believe I Can Fly. And I Believe I Can Fly is the title which inspired me and inspired my students, enabled us to speak via Zoom and Skype to their peers from 35 different countries around the world. Now, in COVID-19 pandemic time, we continued this project activities during this school closures. We traveled virtually to 20 other countries in 2021. We speak English, play games, study, revise, and we explore the world outside with no need to have a passport. At least technology helped us to break the siege forced on Gaza since 2005 till now. Simply, I managed to join the BBC and Pearson Live Classes project from London, in which we meet peers from all around the world. The Hands Up project in Europe for teaching English by short stories and drama. I also participated in the World Peace Song in Japan. We are brothers and sisters. We are one family. My students composed a very, very amazing poem about being brothers and sisters. And we sang this song, and it is uploaded on YouTube by the Chokoyo University in Japan. I taught my students to sing, to tell a short story, to make micro drama after reading or watching an English short story or an English movie. They even can tell their own stories in their daily life in English to their peers from outside and inside Palestine too. They also have learned how to write their peers around the world some English letters about their lives, their culture, the situation in Gaza, their countries, their schools. They have learned how to use technology in education in its best way. They have also learned how to be good researchers and how to use their free time in doing good things and how to enjoy learning in life in general. Now, also they started thinking about their future because I connected them with so many different countries and they explode the world outside. The most inspiring thing here is the very, very hard conditions we live. The hard situation in Gaza Strip. This means you as a teacher should not provide your students with information. This does not work anymore. With a very, recently we had a revolution in technology. So you need to be updated. You need to work hard. What our students need is to inspire them how to think critically and to teach them how to learn. Try to lead them how to extract their inner energy in learning and improving their abilities well. Try to focus on the positive of technology for making researches, for example, for good connection with others, for having enjoyable learning in their free time, and how teach them how to speak and how to stand up in front of the camera, how to hold on the microphone and start expressing themselves to the world outside. There are so many things you need to do for preparing God's citizens in the future. After this hard work, I've been selected as one of the best teachers in the world, and this means much to me and my country, Palestine. It simply means that nothing obstacles us despite all those challenges we face. And we can fight with science. We can liberate our country with pens by preparing the future leaders that we have to prepare today. We are responsible for liberating our country. Yes, our mission is not easy. And my message to the world is that we in Palestine need to live peacefully. No more wars, no more aggressions, no more attacks, no more losing parents or families anymore. No attacks, no prisons, no poverty, no early marriage for girls. We have the right to learn, to play, to work, to have fun, to travel, to have good opportunities in life, because we only live once, just like the others in this world. In COVID-19 time, I launched my initiative for teachers in Palestine, including the 17 directorates of the Ministry of Education. My initiative was called Behind the Screens Teachers. In the 15th of March 2020, we went to schools closures. I trained 120 trainers of so many different digital educational tools, platforms, PC programs, smartphones applications, and I hosted many ex-peers overseas through Zoom to exchange the experience with us. 120 trainers then created their own groups to transfer the same topics with others later. At the same time, I created my Google Classrooms for my students. I sent my students the invitations, and there were only 3 out of 170 students. I called the others mobile phones. I called their parents, their mothers, their families to create them emails. I did, and I managed to add 10 students at first. I created, a kind of competition between students. So more and more students started joining my classrooms. After a month, I had 100% of my students joining my classrooms. So I started training their families about how to deal with this virtual classroom. I met my students more than 120 times in my live classes till now. And then I created more than 100 YouTube videos, which I have attached them in the Google Classroom. I did the midterm exam by Google Forms. The results were very, very amazing. I sent them some assignments, and I proudly received their answers. I managed now to launch my global project virtually, which is around the world. And we started continuing what we have started with last year. We visited Oman, we visited Japan, United States of America, Brazil, Colombia. We visited so many other new countries, Vietnam, Australia, India, Turkey, so many other. We are continuing learning and meeting different cultures via Google Meet, Zoom, and sometimes Skype, despite of having a miserable circumstances of COVID-19 pandemic time. Most of my students do not have their own cell phones. They use their families' cell phones to be connected with me and with the world outside. They also wrote and sent their 100 letters from Gaza to the world outside. When we host new country, they tell their letters to the guests. I managed to host some amazing lectures from NASA via Google Meet. I trained 120 teachers in Gaza on Google Classroom. The trainers course, 12 hours training, 12 training hours for each group. There were 7 groups distributed for 7 weeks. I met them in person in the training center of North of Gaza Direct Trade. This experience enabled me to be the Global Teacher Award winner 2020, and I'm the member of Digital Empowerment and Education team in the Ministry of Education in Palestine. I'm the trainer of virtual classrooms at the National Institute in Gaza, and I'm the National Geographic Certified Educator 2020. I'm a member of the educators community of National Geographic. I'm also the Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert 2020, a Skype educator, member of Microsoft Community 2. I'm the Apple Certified Teacher 2020 in Palestine. I'm the member of Apple Teachers Club 2. I'm a Google Certified Educator from 2020 to 2022. I'm the Ambassador of Wakelet, the leader community there in Palestine, community leader in Wakelet too. And this is briefly about the situation in Palestine. One more time, thank you very much for the National Association of Educators in Costa Rica for inviting me to tell you my modest story, and see you soon. Bye.